Wendy Williams has two investigations looking into her conservatorship. Sources connected to Wendy Williams told TMZ that Wendy just had an interview with Adult Protective Services, which also has made phone calls to people close to Wendy, asking about her living conditions in the New York assisted living facility where she's trapped in. One of the family members that talked to Adult Protective Services is Wendy Williams' niece, Alex, and they were asking her a slew of questions relating to various restrictions that have been placed on her in the guardianship. In addition to the Adult Protective Services, police also paid Wendy Williams a visit at the facility as a part of a welfare check. And Wendy Williams, through people close to her, have asked both the New York Police Department and Adult Protective Services to launch an investigation into her guardianship. And Wendy Williams got even bigger news today. She's one step closer to freedom because a psychiatrist examined her Monday, and the results are clear that Wendy Williams' mental capacity is fully intact. Wendy Williams scored a 10 out of 10 on her psych exam called a capacity test. She was asked 10 questions to determine if she was alert and oriented, and she answered every one correctly. The results of her capacity test will be forwarded to the judge in the guardianship case. We can also assume that all of this is going to be used in the lawsuit that Wendy Williams' guardian, Sabrina Morsey, filed against A&E for the Where is the Wendy Williams documentary. And as of right now, this is the only court case with Wendy Williams somehow tied in that you can see publicly. Wendy Williams' guardian, Sabrina Morsey, has shut down any court documents dealing with her guardianship to the public, so you were unable to read those. Now, when Wendy Williams came out very publicly and said that she doesn't have dementia, she doesn't want involved in this court case with Lifetime and A&E over this documentary, Sabrina Morsey, her guardian, actually said, "Oh, well, I want to put this on stay because Wendy Williams is saying she doesn't have dementia. So let's get her evaluations and then we'll see how we want to proceed with this case." Now, A&E is saying, yes, we want Wendy Williams to get a medical evaluation because the only reason that you're bringing on this lawsuit is because you were the one saying that Wendy Williams was mentally incapacitated to sign off to do this documentary. And it's not only that. In these court documents, A&E is alleging that Sabrina Morsey knew about this the whole time, and she was only mad at this documentary because it painted her in a bad light because we saw Wendy Williams drinking while in this guardianship. So that means that the guardian was not really taking care of Wendy Williams. We heard Wendy Williams say it herself. This is when the talks that Wendy Williams had dementia started, during all of this lawsuit mess. And since Wendy Williams said all of this, and she also said that she didn't want any part of this lawsuit and that she wanted to do this documentary and she doesn't have dementia and she's not impaired, and he was like, yeah, we want that because guess what? If Wendy Williams is not incapacitated, we can use her in discovery. And baby, I'm absolutely loving this for the Guardian. Not only does she have investigations being launched into her, Wendy Williams' medical evaluations are coming back clear, and also A&E is smacking down saying, baby, you are about to pay us for putting us through this lawsuit. A&E says it's important to emphasize that the evaluation is not just a formality. Given Wendy Williams' recent statements in the press, it is essential to aid in determining whether and how Wendy Williams can participate in this litigation, including discovery. These results will provide the court and the parties with an updated, medically informed basis for determining whether the case should proceed and under whose direction, and in what capacity Wendy Williams can engage in discovery and other aspects of the case. And they are saying until these questions are answered, they don't want to proceed with discovery because Wendy Williams not being incapacitated would be huge for A&E. It would expose the Guardian that much more and all the sneaky stuff that she's doing, but it would also help Wendy Williams a lot because it would also prove Wendy Williams' case about her only wanting money. A&E says the defendants criticized the Guardian for inappropriately describing factual basis for a motion to stay, including relevant facts regarding Wendy Williams' evident incapacity. While the defendants may not like being informed on the intensive evidence of Wendy Williams' obvious incapacity, a record that makes clear the shocking nature and extent of their misconduct. The whole purpose of this case, as with any litigation, is to shine light on their misconduct and hold them to account. Defendants suggest the Guardian glossed over Wendy Williams' recent statements in the press is equally strange given that the Guardian is who brought on those statements in the court's attention. Right now, now everything is looking so good for Wendy Williams, and I honestly couldn't be happier. I can't wait to see Wendy Williams living her best life and hopefully even on a podcast because, baby, I would love Wendy Williams to get back in the public eye and just hear what she has to say. And it's time for everybody to be held responsible that locked Wendy Williams up and treats her worse than what an incarcerated person in jail is treated. And we want this to start with the Guardian, Sabrina Morsey. And it's still free Wendy Williams until we watch her step out of that assisted living facility and she's actually let free from this guardianship. But everything's looking on the up and up, and honestly, I think this is the best news that we've ever heard for Wendy Williams. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.